Where do I even begin, you all? Where do I even begin right now? Okay, so this is not normal. All right, I want you all to be very aware of what's happening right now. This is not normal energy. I don't even know where to begin. I had the worst sleep. I normally have really, really good sleep. I had the worst sleep. And right before I went to bed, I saw on Twitter that there was a massive earthquake. There's been a couple earthquakes back to back to back. And this is exactly what I warned you guys about. Especially when I had that dream about California, and I came on here and told you guys all about that, and it's happening in real time. This is not normal energy. I don't know if you all can feel what I'm feeling and you're witnessing what I'm witnessing, but this is just not normal energy. The fact that we have more than one retrograde, eclipses, full moon, I mean, it's just from the start of the king's coronation. It's like thing it's like it's like atmosphere wise, it's like things have gone downhill. I've never seen so many people sick. I've never seen so many catastrophes. I've never in my life lived in a time and day and age where I literally get up, go outside, and the first thing that I see is a car being repossessed. And not just one car, 3 cars, 5 cars, you know. I mean, this is it. I don't think you have to be a Bible scholar. I don't think you have to be religious. I don't think you mean, you got to be a dum-dum, basically. You know what I'm saying? And it's just been like attacks. I just see attack after attack after attack, and nothing makes any sense anymore. The amount of people, the amount of countless people that have been having dreams, about what's to come, including myself, you all. I want to touch on this real quick. I mean, I'm probably at a different date. I'm gonna be making a video about AI solely. Once they really ramp up what they're trying to do, this whole I mean, I get chills. I'm lost for words because I was a person who, just to give you guys a little background, I was a person who was raised Christian Pentecostal. You know what I'm saying? And I identify as a spiritual person. I'm spiritual all the way. Where there's good scripture and where there's good principles from certain things, wherever it is, I pull from it. You see what I'm saying? And it's just the times we're living in. I can't even describe it, you all. This energy right now on the planet is nothing like I've ever seen. And this is it. I all I can say is this is it, this is it, this is it, this is it. And take that how you will, y'all, because it's just not normal. Like what I'm seeing, what's been happening right in our faces, it's all coming out. It's all coming out. And the fact that I had a dream about in the future how people would be able to purchase things and not purchase things, basically AI, crypto/AI. And a lot of people have been warning about what's to come in terms of the currency, especially America. I think America is just under so much attack. It's like not even funny. Like we are getting, I think, the bulk of the spiritual warfare. Maybe Africa and, somewhere like, maybe certain countries in Europe, the least. But I think that overall, America is getting hit the hardest because we are always responsible for other people, but yet America doesn't want to be responsible for its own people. And that's what I don't understand is that why are we always the savior of everybody else? But yet, time and time again, it's been proven that nobody wants to save us. Nobody wants to put their country in debt to help us. God forbid we're at nuclear war or somebody wants to blow us up. Ain't nobody gonna come help America. I just want y'all to know that. Like, we are really in the trenches out here, like by ourselves. Like, I'm telling y'all, like, I could see it coming. I could see it, and I'm just like, it's almost like time is speeding up. You know, time is speeding up so quickly. And a couple of the videos that I've done previously that have led up to this point now, I'm going to try my best to find all those videos. But the best advice I can give y'all, if you guys want to see more of the videos and dreams I've had, go to my playlist, okay? Go to my playlist where I've labeled the playlist World Messages. World Messages, the celebrity reading playlist. Dig around on my channel, in my playlist, guys. Just dig around, just search it up on my actual channel, like my actual channel, and you're gonna find from even 2017 there has been so many things I've seen, I've predicted, I've warned about, I've talked about, and we are in the thick of it. Do you guys understand that there is multiple credible people right now, including myself, who have had dreams that there is going to be like another pandemic? I don't think that people are, you know, I feel bad for people who are so caught in the so-called matrix. Like, that's a very 3D term, but what they're really caught up in is a false system, right? What people are really caught up in is a facade, and they're being sold a bed of lies. Life is not about the car you drive. Life is not about the biggest house you can purchase. Life is not about how many designer purses or shoes or clothes you have in your house. And the fact that some people are still being sold a lie that all life is about is how much you can consume is partially the reason why, especially in America, we're in the state that we're in, because people are trying to impress people that don't even know them. They're getting themselves in massive amounts of debt, lack of financial freedom, lack of financial security, or financial literacy, I should say. And all the while people are getting their houses taken away, their cars taken away, they're starving, they can't afford basic essentials anymore, getting basic paper towels, and let's say somebody wants to cook, two different types of meals, whatever, have a couple snacks, is costing an arm, leg, and a foot. I don't think people are realizing what's happening here. They're making life so unbearable, so hard on purpose, that there's no return. Like, there is no way out of this. Okay? I want to tell you all from a spiritual perspective and a 3D perspective for people who are on different spiritual levels, because not everybody has got the revelation. Not everybody has come to the point where they realize that they've been sold and programmed a bunch of lies. There's a reason why, before Steve Jobs passed away, the guy who, was the mastermind of Apple, one of the biggest stocks, biggest companies, he was a Syrian immigrant. He was of immigrant origin. People don't even know that. And there's a reason why the man always wore a black shirt and a pair of washed out blue jeans. The people that hold all of his power, so-called fake power, and are running everything, they're not trying to get the latest handbag. They're not trying to get the latest car. Like, and if they are, they don't have to even think about it. But like the average person out here, that's like their life, that's like their whole paycheck, versus survival, versus retirement, versus taking care of their loved ones. And so we really have to wake up, you all. And no, we can't necessarily help everybody. We can't, I mean, the amount of knowledge that I've gained through reading, through research, in addition to intuitively, and vision wise, dream wise, and scripture wise, with different religions as well, and bringing it all together for the fuller picture. There's no way out of this. There is actually no way out of this, and we have to be stronger than ever. We cannot buckle right now. We cannot listen to the thoughts that say, just give up, or anything negative. Like, we can't allow ourselves to fall into that state of energetic vibration, because at this point the spiritual warfare is on 1,000. Like, it really is. And so when I had that dream about, seeing how everything was like, mechanical, and there wasn't like human beings, running things like full on stores, automated stores, right? I'm seeing it before my eyes, you all. Like, these are the things that I have had dreams about. And like I told you all, I'm going to do my best to link, um, in the description box, and in the little eye icon, and at the end of this video, I'm going to do my best to link, well, on the screen, I'm not going to have enough space to put all of them because this is a live video, but you're going to have to just check out the description box. But in general, just look around, and if it's not just my channel, just type in prophetic dream, y'all. Just type in certain keywords on Twitter, on YouTube, and you're gonna see that everybody is, people that are spiritually aware and attuned are picking up on what is going down. And what is going down is not pretty. I mean, let's put it this way. They have literally been pushing AI so hard. Have you all noticed how hard they have been pushing AI all of a sudden? All of a sudden, it's all about AI. It's all about not having humans work in stores for a paycheck and getting paid. You know, they're doing everything. They're doing everything to ensure that we are the minority, that human beings are non-existent. That is what they're trying to do. And the fact that there's talk of a possible other viral illness that's going to be released on us, it's not even shocking anymore. It's not even shocking anymore, because I'm like, well, they're putting AI in our face. They're putting all this stuff in our face. And the fact that people can't even, I mean, people are people that are making above average can't even afford groceries anymore. People are having to decide between buying essentials and, paying their rent or paying their mortgage. And this is not normal. I don't want us to think that this is just the new normal. No, this is their new normal. This is what they want, but we don't have to accept it, is what I'm saying. So, it's here. It's their plan is activated. It's ferocious. It's in your face. And I don't understand how people can just see this and not understand on a deeper level what's really happening here. I mean, they even have these fake commercials trying to talk about reenacting basically an artificial womb, trying to create babies in labs and trying to pick out genetic genes and characteristics for babies without humans. I mean, what on earth? What? I mean, it's so obvious. Like, I've just never lived in a time where I've seen so many people fed up, It's like everyone is sick. Everyone is trying not to be depressed. Everyone is trying not to feel hopeless. Everyone is, you know, kind of shocked and confused as to how bad it's been. Like, I think that people are really taking heed now and realizing like how bad this has gotten. Like, ever since the pandemic on forward, they've ramped up their own plan, and they've ramped it up at such a speed that you blink and they've ushered something new in, and then it doesn't help when they're trying to show us videos from different parts in Asia of, them paying for food and them not accepting cash. They're not accepting physical money. You know, they're trying so hard to get this digital currency off the ground, and it's aggressive. It's in your face. And there's no stopping it, you all. Like there's no there's no brake pedal at this point, you know? There's no brake pedal. And I think that for people who are spiritually attuned and have had, supernatural experiences and dreams and all, and have spiritual gifts even, and all types of stuff, they've been prepared, like myself included. I have been prepared way before 2017. In fact, I remember towards the end of 2018, I did not feel like leaving the house. There was just something that was telling me, or was it the end of 2019? No, I think it could have been both years, could have been 18 and 19, but more specifically 2018, the end of 2018, there was an unusual energy in the atmosphere. And I remember just this hesitancy to go outside. And, ever since, let me not forget to add this, there's been a huge increase in these randos just going to play, especially in America, just going to places and taking people's lives. We see it such at a height that it's like, oh my God, you know, whether they're being paid to do that, whatever is going on there, but it is just in your face. And to the point where they're trying to tell us that you can't even go to a mall. And rest in peace to all those who lost their precious life in Texas, that recent Texas mall thing. And, it's like, you mean to tell me that I can't even go to a mall and feel safe to shop because some wacko can just pull up and take somebody's life? I mean, this is not normal. It's just not normal. And it's all in the direction, it's all in the way of stopping people from true prosperity, stopping people from reproducing, and I feel like to say this in this video for some reason, but I'm just gonna go with the flow. We have to be careful. I think men and women have to be careful with the whole dating topics and, hyper independence and hyper high value and alpha this and alpha that. People need to be careful because what I was shown spiritually, all is that is trying to push gender on gender. Now, don't get it twisted. There is people, they claim, that are born that way, right? There is people who claim that they're born not straight, but there is also, behind that, there is these people who are in the closet. I'm going to tell y'all straight up. There's people that are behind the scenes, are in the closet, and they're posing like they're straight. They're posing like they've, are really into the opposite sex, and they're not. And they're going on these big platforms and they're telling men to get vasectomies. They're telling men to not open the door for women. They're telling men to not buy women flowers. I mean, it's in your face. Like, we need to wake up. Like, and of recent, this was a revelation that I got, that these people are trying to decrease the amount of babies being born, like biological. And this is also them trying to usher in this whole artificial womb business, and trying to push this narrative that men can get pregnant. When have we ever heard them? When have we ever lived on planet Earth and heard them talk about men being pregnant? Like, it's not adding up. So I don't know why I was not planning to speak on that today in this video. I was really coming on here to speak about the spiritual warfare I've been seeing, the attack on people, especially the middle class, the working class. There is such an attack out for us right now. Even people that are entrepreneurs and self-made, they're trying everything to stop people from prospering. They're trying everything. And so I think that women and men need to be very careful who they listen to. Okay, need to be very careful who they listen to, because what I was shown is that some of these people who keep showing these negative stories about people who are cheaters and these and telling men to treat women like dogs, this is all the enemy, you all. This is all of the enemy. This is not how men were designed. And I'm not talking about men who like other men. I'm talking about straight men and straight women who are listening to people who are encouraging them to hate the opposite sex. That's what it is. And I didn't always feel that way, but the more that I research and the more that I'm asking God spiritually to show me why is this happening? Why have we seen this gender war, right? Why are we constantly seeing this influx of these negative videos about men and about women? Why are they pushing it at such a high algorithm? And it's because they I'm gonna tell y'all, to some degree, they're wanting these men especially to be gay. They're wanting them to not like women. It's all up, it's all a setup to the point where they're gonna say to them, you know, that's all they're good for is a hole, or all of them are all the same. You know, it's like they're taking them out of their natural habitat. When have you ever seen a man? I'm just gonna be like straight up with you all. When have you ever seen a man talk about not buying a woman flowers, not wanting to court a woman? When have we ever seen a time in history where it's all about taking her virginity or taking her sensuality as some kind of sick gain and then tossing her back to the wolves? That's never been a man's nature. That's never been humanity's nature. Men are not naturally, wired to operate like that. Men and women are wired to be helpmates. And regardless of whatever religious affiliation y'all have, that's just not the will of God. It's not the will. And I'm gonna speak to every demon and every negative energy and every negative entity out here, because I've caught on to what y'all doing. What y'all trying to do is pervert people. They're trying to pervert people to not be straight. Y'all peep it. Y'all peep it. How many men do you see sit up on these mics and talk about how to use a woman, but not even love a woman, not even nurture her, not even take care of her, not even emotionally tend to any of her needs, but just to simply use her, to use her, use her up and toss her out? And all those kind of men got these tight shirts. Just peep it, because I had to ask for enlightenment, because I it wasn't sitting right with me. And what I found is a lot of these men are into other men. They're into other men. And so they're posing. I'm telling y'all, it gets deep out here. Take off the rose-colored glasses, okay? And spiritually attune yourself to what's happening here. They wear these tight shirts, which most homosexual men dress a certain way, talk a certain way, have a certain kind of, body movement, okay? And a lot of those men who are telling men to not have kids, to not have a legacy, I'm telling you, are in the closet. I'm telling you, they're in the closet. And a lot of these men that are not spiritually attuned are listening to what they're saying, and they're angry at women who've done nothing to them. They may have come from a beautiful two-parent family home. They may have been raised by a great mom, and all of a sudden they hate women. They see them all the same. They can't love, they can't emotionally connect to a woman. And that's why I'm saying it's spiritual warfare, guys. It's not normal. So if you want a healthy marriage, you believe in monogamy, you believe in seeing your body as a temple, you take care of your body, you don't share your body with just anybody and anyone, pray for that. I have begun to pray to get married, okay, to the opposite sex. begin to open your eyes, because what they're trying to do is because they want their kids to get married. Y'all seeing all these rich people getting married out of nowhere? Yeah, they're okay with their kids getting married and their kids reproducing, but when it comes to the regular woman and man that's not, a part of their little clique, they're telling us, don't have kids, don't reproduce, don't love your own skin color. Okay? That's a bit deep, but yeah, it's even so deep. I don't want my phone to go dead, so I gotta get my charger. But it's even so deep to the point where they're even trying to tell people to not love their own race. I don't know if you guys have peeped that as well. Nothing against interracial relationships, okay? And I don't even like to use that word because people love who they love. But if you guys pay attention, there's also this thing where they want people to crossbreed, right? Where they're wanting people to find their own people ugly. And that's also an agenda, you all. You guys have to wake up. Like, I've realized, like, it's all sick and twisted. It's not of God. Okay, it's not of God. So it's really not. Like, you cannot find another race or another skin color attractive, but then you have so much negative things to say about your own people. Like, that's not normal. Do you understand it's not normal to be coveting and raising up a different skin color, a different nationality, but then when it comes to your own, you're trashing it, you think it's ugly, you have nothing nice to say? That's all programming. I'm telling you all, they programmed it this way. They're programming it in a way where they want the family unit to be destroyed. And I want you all to hear me and hear me good. They're putting it in a way where, let me put it in even deeper plain English for y'all, okay? Let me get even more raw and real with y'all. It's so bad to the point where with these rich people, these celebrities, right? They're having, look at Nick Cannon. Look at the Kardashians. Look at just any dynasty, any, celebrity in the news family, right? They're having kids like crazy. Are y'all peeping that? Even the rappers racing to have babies. But then when they come to regular folk, they say, oh, kids are horrible. Don't have kids. Why? Who needs kids? They're telling us the opposite of what they're doing. And I want people to peep game, because I've peeped game in a deep way, like, recently. And I've been like, wow, they're trying to keep all the wealth to themselves. They're trying to keep everything to themselves. And then when it comes to, everybody else below that, in their eyes, because in the eyes of God, we're all equal and we're all judged, according to our sin and what we do on this planet. But in their eyes, we're lower than them. You see what I'm saying? So they have no problem. They have no problem telling girls to, I'm just going to put it out here. They have no problem telling young girls to not have a man, forget about marriage, forget about having a healthy relationship, but they have no problem telling your daughters, telling people out here, get 6, 7, 5, 7, 8 degrees, right? Be the first CEO, do all this, do all that, but then they want you to have a loveless life. They want you to not have friends. They don't want you to have a healthy marriage. They tell you, forget a man, forget a woman. They're gold diggers, they're players, they're all the same. They're pushing out this messaging. But then when you look at their life behind closed doors, they're traditional. You understand that? They're the ones who are all about family. They're all about legacy. But when it comes to us, they want to tell us, oh, climate change, don't have any babies. You're helping the earth by not having babies. In the word of God, it says, be fruitful and multiply. Now, people have twisted that word, but God is not going to put you here to not be a conduit for his glory. It don't work that way. God's not going to put you on a planet and then not prosper you. The God that I serve is not going to put you on a planet to be barren. Not barren spiritually, not barren financially, whatever money system, currency system. It's just not the will of God, y'all. It's just not the will of God. So we have to understand that they give us a separate set of rules. You see, this is why in Hollywood they're carrying on with all their funny business, because they can get away with it. You know, they can hurt all these innocent children, all this stuff, because they think that they're gods. They see themselves as like they replace God with themselves. They've made themselves an idol. You see what I'm saying? So it's just really deep. Like, I don't even know if I even have enough time to even explain, but I just want y'all to peep game. I just want y'all to peep game. The same things that they're telling people, especially certain communities, to not have, to not do. I'll even give this example where I'm not gonna say the name of the person, but this I wouldn't consider them a celebrity. This is more like a businessman, and he's not that well known, but he's known enough. And I heard him say, don't buy a house, never have property, never have this, never have that. This man has so many properties you can't even count. You look up his portfolio, and he's all about real estate. He's all about real estate. But then he'll get right on camera and tell you and tell me, you don't need to have a house. You don't need to have your own land. You don't need to have your own garden. You see, it's the messaging. It's the messaging. And if people are not spiritually attuned, it will go completely past their head. And they will not understand that they're trying to control people. They're trying to tell you what you don't deserve while they get what they think they deserve right in front of our face, and cause all these collapses, cause all this, the bank failures. I mean, look at what's happening. I didn't even get to the bank situation. I haven't even talked about the banks yet in this video. I haven't even got to talk about how the banks are collapsing one by one by one, and how the US dollar is on the world stage right now, rapidly declining. They don't even want to acknowledge us. Like, this is happening in real time. So I'm just telling y'all, the best word of advice I could give anybody for this time right now is get back in connection to God. Whatever that means for you. Okay, go back to the Holy Scriptures, go back to the Word of God, go back to what you know is true, what your parents raised you on, if your parents were decent. Okay, don't get into this hookup culture. Don't get into this culture of I don't need anybody. You're all alone. You're all alone, like on an island, because you're trying to climb a so-called ladder to wealth and success and fame. It's a trap. It's a complete trap. And just follow all the celebrities who've done that and have perished at a very young age, and have never been able to, even if they have had kids, to see their kids grow old, because they were living for the devil, for lack of a better word. Okay, they were living in a negative light, so their whole life is just wasted. Wasted doing drugs, wasted getting into debt, wasted having a bunch of, a string of lovers, never having a healthy relationship. Don't believe the hype. I can name so many celebrities who believe the lie, and they're gone. They're not even alive. 25, 24, 33, dead and gone. Why? Because they believed the lie. They believed the lie that in order to be a creative, they have to take drugs, they have to drink, it's all a lie. But this is what they put in the programming, you all. This is how they program people. They put it in their songs, they put it on repeat. In the music, it's like hypnotic messages that are negative, and it's on replay on the radio, at award shows, TikTok, whatever. It's like a trance. It's like a trance. So I can feel sad for people who have not, woken up, who don't understand they're being played, who don't understand what's happening here. But like I said, we cannot help everybody. We cannot help everybody. A lot of what these celebrities say, they live the opposite behind closed doors. They have an alter ego. They have a persona. They behave a certain way for monetary gain. Okay, they behave a certain way for a paycheck, but behind closed doors, they're living a different life. Okay, and they come back on camera and they tell you and me the exact opposite. Okay, to mess with our minds, to have us stay low in vibration, to have us stay low in vibration, to have us fall for the same tricks. And yes, a lot of them do work for these secret organizations, that ultimately run the world. They're all in bed together. So I'm just telling y'all, be careful. Be careful. Before it gets better, it's going to get worse. But, people who, you know, are of God, believe in God, and want the best will be okay. You and I will be okay because we don't operate in a negative light. We don't operate in a way where we want to distort the truth. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of people out here who want to distort the truth. And this is why we're seeing so much evil, especially in this country, be unleashed. People losing their minds, people just in broad daylight taking people's lives because why? They're full of some kind of spirit that's not of God. They are hardwired towards violence. They're hardwired towards negativity. And so what's in the heart, what's in the abundance of the heart, the mouth will speak. So when you see people constantly putting a programming out here that's against prosperity, that's against the family unit, that's against you being able to manifest whatever you want, it's because they want to keep us suppressed. Simply put. Simply put. But it's not going to last forever. I'm telling you right now that the scales are being so tipped, and I'm already past 36 minutes, which I did not expect. I was expecting this video to be at least maybe 16 minutes, but I'm already on 36. And there's just so much more I could tell you all, but it's just the fact that so many people have had dreams about, bank collapses and earthquakes like myself and so much other stuff. And it's just what is going to happen because, the earth is responding to the damage that's been done. It's responding to the negativity. It's responding to the lies. And so of course it's getting worse. Of course it's getting worse because that's what is majorly being pushed out here. They're not pushing it's just not the same. Like the way that, you know, most people live and how they were living about 5, 10 years ago is just not the same today. People today are just really struggling or really having a hard time. And I just wanted to be the person to say this morning, it's just not normal. And we have to understand that it's not normal. And, if your gut is leading you to begin to research like I've been, and to begin to look into topics that maybe you weren't, investigating before, follow that gut feeling, take that feeling seriously and begin to get, a spiritual download about why they're doing what they're doing and is it right? And when you ask for that confirmation, when you ask to be shown the truth, it will come to you. So be careful what you ask for, because if you want to really see what is going down right now, you will be shown it. You may be shown it in a dream. You may meet somebody who brings it up randomly and starts telling you stuff about different products and different people, and it may blow your mind. And that's what's been happening to me. I mean, I can give you all a quick example. My throat's tired. I need to rest my throat, guys. It's been crazy. I was recently I bought myself a new phone for a lot of reasons. And I was in the phone store, and randomly I had to wait for everything to be transferred on the other phone. And I went to sit at the table, and this lady was on the phone, and funny, and just out of the blue, one thing led to another. She was telling me how her father has cancer. She was talking about her relationship with her parents. She was talking about the state of the world in public. And we got into a lot. We got into a lot of topics that I think most people would never even touch. And this was just like a regular thing. So when I tell you that like attracts like, and if you're on that path to enlightenment and you're a truth seeker and you're a person that, knows that the time is now, when you go out, like when you do go out in the world, the 3D world, when you do step out your house or wherever you live, you are going to come across people that are going to help you, are going to share information with you, are going to be like-minded, because that's the vibration that you're operating on. So let's say, for example, you're wanting to get more information about how to meditate, how to manifest, how to visualize. Um, you know, if it's for pure intentions, you will just continue to live your life, and certain people, places, books, and things and information will come to you. You don't even have to necessarily go for it. It will come to you. And I can't even count on my two hands how many times it's happened to me. I've gone to a meeting or I've gone somewhere and it's like I see certain books, and then and or the same book I'm reading, this person's reading, and they just happen to have it in their car, happen to have it on their desk, and it will all align. When you move with good intentions, it's all gonna align. But yeah, for those of you especially who are into your love life, you want a healthy relationship, steer clear of I don't want to say propaganda, but just be aware that a lot of these people are not straight. They're not straight. They're not into having children. They don't want people to succeed. It's just that simple. They want to pose as they're straight, they're this, they're that, but then behind closed doors, they're against that. And that's why they can come boldly on different platforms and trash women and trash men, because they're not even into that sex. They're not even into the opposite sex. And that's why they can talk the way they talk. So, I'll end the video and say this. Good people are out there. I know the world is we live in a fallen world. I know times are getting really bad, but I just want to tell you all, there is good people out there. And especially if you're a good person, you will attract good people. And if you're a good person and you're not attracting new connections, good people, then you need to check yourself. You need to check yourself. You need to check your heart and think to yourself, is my intentions pure? Because if your intentions are pure, I'm telling you, at some point, you are going to be divinely connected to people who also have a good heart like you. It's kind of like, it's not even kind of, it is, birds of a feather flock together, like, so what you want to be around, what you want to have in your life, you have to attract that. And so I want to say humbly, to help all of us here, including myself, if what you're attracting in your life you don't like, you have to check that. You have to do a little research, okay? And just because the times we're living in are really, really bad does not mean that we cannot be divinely appointed, divinely set up, prosper. It's quite the opposite. In fact, we will prosper more. We'll have better connections, because now is when people's true colors are coming out more than ever. So I just want to give that words of encouragement to you all before I close the video. What you're attracting, watch what you're attracting. Watch the thoughts you're having. Watch the kind of things you're listening to. Just be very careful, because it's a lot of trickery. It's a lot of trickery. And the reality is that nothing is good about people not being able to have a job. Nothing under the sun is good about trying to make a store fully automated to the point where they want to scan a piece of your skin to pay for something. That's not normal. It's not normal. Okay. So yeah, if you want to live better, have a better quality of life, better, especially I would say people, I think more than ever anything, now is the time to have good quality people. Forget the superficial stuff. Like, in this time we're living in, you got to have people around you who are genuine. You can't have people who are frenemies and secret haters and want to copycat. Like, if you have people like that around you during this time, you're not going to prosper as much. You're going to have a harder time because you got snakes around you. You know, you got to cut down that garden and get rid of those snakes and toss those snakes out. So you got to check your vibration. You got to check what you're attracting. You got to be serious about this, because you know, if you don't take control of it, then who is taking control of it, right? So this is what I've been doing, and this is why I want to share with you all. It's like, if you don't like what you're attracting, if you don't like the life that you're living, you know, you want to be the outlier who is doing better than people, you know, most people in a recession. Stay close to God, you know what I'm saying? Do what you got to do, be pure in heart, pure in intention, and it will happen for you. It will happen for you. It may take some time. You know, time is always something different, but you just got to be intentional. You got to be so intentional. And it's not even about how the person looks or none of that. Like, that's so old. Like, now people need to focus on having a group of people, solid individuals in their corner. This is a time to make sure that your team is solid. Like, and especially if you're not married, you know, seek out a marital spouse. I will definitely promote that, you know, get married. Stop jumping from bed to bed. You know, stop it. Like, we need to get rid of all that, you know, in the culture, especially in America. That needs to be down the drain. Find a spouse. Ask God to give you a spouse, because that's where you're going to have the healthiest sex, the healthiest bank account, and the healthiest family, is when you're married. Not when you're just out here hopping from person to person, getting disappointed. That's not the will of God. God made somebody for you. Every single person's on my voice. If you're not married yet, you have a person waiting for you. But if you're living in sin, if you're living in a way that is displeasing to God in your body, your temple, your holy temple, you're not going to attract that person quick, because you're living in a lifestyle that doesn't please God, okay? And you're living in a way that is actually very dangerous to your health. So you have to think about long term. We all need, now in this season, we have to think long term, okay? So if you're talking about you want to have, you know, nice things, you want to live a good life, you got to get married. Okay, if you want to romance, you gotta want to get married. Okay, not this, you know, one day it's Tom, the next year it's Jack, you know, the next month it's Steven. Like, that's not even a thing. You know, in most holy books, they don't even talk about dating. It's not even in any holy book, period. Like, the word dating doesn't even exist. It was marriage or nothing. It was marriage or nothing. So women have to stop lowering their value. Men have to stop promiscuity, okay? And their lack of discipline over their flesh. They need to get back to what is the will of humanity from the beginning. And the will was to prosper. Okay, we are made in God's image. So why would you want to be out here having heartbreak after heartbreak after heartbreak, when you can just have one person that you're connected to divinely, and have an amazing intimate life, which is physical sex, you know, compassion, emotion, connection? Why would you not pick that to go to a lifestyle and a way of thinking of, you know, hopping from person to person to person? That is very damaging to one's soul, and that's very damaging to one's holy temple. So I definitely want to encourage people that, you know, there is healthy marriage. You have to create healthy marriage. When you do find your person, by the grace of God, you have to work at it. You can't just expect everything to just be perfect. Like, you have to work at this, because in the earthly realm, that's being attacked. You know, how many marriages have ended up in divorce because of attacks, spiritual attacks? Because when you have a good thing going, people get jealous, people attack you. You know, there's temptation. It's all about, it's spiritual. Everything is spiritual, you all. Mostly everything is spiritual, really. So when you see it from a spiritual perspective, you understand that it's not good for our bodies to be doing that. Okay, so focus on long term. Focus on, you know, being with a compatible partner that will provide those things for you, and not trying to find those things in different people at different times. And there's no stability in that. There's no real connection in that. It's just hopping around. And that's why there's so many broken people out here because they don't have stability. You know what I'm saying? They don't have that real agape love. They just have a warm body. They don't have, they're not actually in love, you know? So, you know, if you're looking for romance, you want to be actually in love. You want to be connected the way it was intended. You want to feel that deep connection, that deep love and an attraction. You don't want to just be a piece of meat out here. Okay? So I love y'all. And this was not my typical video, let alone message. But hey, I told you I was going to go with the flow. You know, this is just a little bit of everything, really. I mean, it's almost an hour video. And for me, just talking to y'all, it feels more like a 20-minute video, but it's really almost an hour video. I'm looking at the clock right now. So I'll get off in here now, y'all. Watch the video as many times as you want, but just really spiritually open your spiritual ears and your spiritual eyes, okay? And just listen to what I'm saying, and you'll see it's the truth. Okay, love you all. Bye.